What's going on, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to the. Do I have this hooked up? It did not hook up. 1 second, everybody. There we go. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds, everybody. There we go. All right, so welcome back to the live stream. Sorry about that. It's been a hectic day for me. Welcome back to the Monday live stream. So today was it was a rough weekend. I had an issue with my one car that pretty much was totaled. And then the second car that I had that I was taking into trade to buy a new Subaru ended up getting hit on my way to the dealership. So I spent most of my day at the dealership. I got home about 6 minutes ago. So anyway, I'm going to have Ross from TLTG reviews, and I'm also going to have Michael Paul from Day 3 Fragrances. We're going to talk about what I think is the best release of 2025. But beforehand, I am going to bring Ross on, if he's cool with it, just so we can talk, and then bring Mike on once he comes. But anyway, here's Ross from TLTG Reviews.
Sure.
What's going on, man?
I'm backstage. It was whenever,
I figured it was like, I was like thinking to myself, should I bring them on together? And then I saw you and I was like,
I hung
well,
out for 30 minutes if you wanted to do 30 minutes. I slotted the time,
Yeah, I literally just got home. It was about 6 minutes ago.
What a wild weekend, huh?
Yeah, I went to the Subaru dealership, and I ended up I was going to get a used, but they ended up trading that car in the way that it was that I showed you for like 4,500.
Was that the driver door?
That was the driver and passenger, and the driver door and the
Front and
back
back?
door. Yeah. So they quoted it at like 4,300, and the dealership offered me 45 as is. And so I was like, I'll take that.
Because it was probably minor enough to where their body guy in the back said, I'll charge you this many hundred. And they're like, all right, let's get this trade off. Trust me, I know how this shit goes down.
Exactly. So
minor fix for them.
So I because of that, I ended up upgrading from the used to the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. It's like a hybrid sports looking SUV. So
yeah.
But what's your scent of the day?
I am rocking the dead ringer for Elysium O Intense, Imperium Intense.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
I said it in my video. They need to stop doing this because, like, if they would like reviewers to continue to review their fragrances, they need reviewers to not get community guideline strikes for counterfeit products because it's an easy attack. It's happened to a lot of us because of this, right? That's because they can't copyright a formula. But a bottle style is trademarked and copyrighted. So I thought Fragrance World got away from doing that. This is a pretty new fragrance. But aside from that, the charm to them ripping the bottle off is they like pretty much nailed the fragrance. It's not Raja Dove's quality.
Right.
That's obvious. But as far as the profile, you familiar with Elysium O Intense?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I know you like it. I wasn't a big fan. It got a lot of hate. I don't think it's deserving of the hate. I just found the Elysium Parfum Cologne and the Parfum better than it.
Both the other ones are way more the crowd pleasers. They're way easier on the nose. This is the more interesting, I think, is the good word to throw on it because it's going to be polarizing. Because it's got that, the way I like to describe, I forgot who said it in my comments when I first got it, but it makes all the sense. I think you and I talked about it. Laundered, like fresh out the washing machine, clean, laundered, but still wet clothing that you're transporting into the dryer. Plus that sour rhubarb, like that damp, clean clothes smell. It's weird. It makes it really weird, but still Elysium's like metallic, fruity citrus and everything hiding in there. I could see where some people would think this is terrible, and I could see where some people would think it's a brilliant twist, which I kind of fall towards the latter. I actually find a lot of charm in the way that he did this. And Fragrance World nailed it. I got to give them their due here. Regardless of the bottle being just ridiculous, they nailed the profile. So I'm working on a review. I'm doing some testing on it. I know it was very long-winded.
I'm directly in the middle with it. Like you said, most people have told me they either hate the rhubarb or they like it, and I think that's the main part of the fragrance. You either like the rhubarb or you don't. I love rhubarb. Usually that one, it was okay to me. It's just I didn't feel like picking up the bottle, which obviously is why I didn't pick up the Imperium either.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing this. I have to. I mean, obviously
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But look, how you said in the intro, Totally agree. I can't pinpoint a better release this year than Trey Oros.
No, it's
I
the
just can't put
quality.
anything above it. There's been some great designers, but I wouldn't dare pick a designer over something like that. You
No,
know, that's just
yeah,
far and above.
the quality, the scent profile, the blend, the bottle, obviously, the atomizer, everything about it, and then you add that together with it's a style of gourmand that can be worn in the spring and fall, which you don't find that often, and it's adding to their repertoire of
Hmm.
different styles of fragrance that this one doesn't remind you of anything else that is in their lineup or anything else. I think to me this is my favorite day three, like by a long shot. But I
Sure.
also love La Tacita La Tacita de Cafe. And then Amber Dominicano Island was nice, but again, the rose with my wife, it didn't. There's rose in most of their fragrances, but that one popped a little bit more for me. And then the other one that I like was Del Mar, which I thought smelled like 1 million elixir, but you told me.
Yeah, so no, it wasn't Del Mar that we were talking about. It was Downtown Deja Vu.
Oh yeah, I came back and I confused the two. It
Okay, so
was
that makes more sense then, because when you said Downtown Deja Vu, I was like, "There's no 1 million of any kind in here. It'd be
no, yeah,
crazy."
it's Del
Yeah,
Mar that I get the 1 million/1 million elixir vibes from,
yeah.
but
See,
a
that
lot
makes
more
a lot
higher
more sense.
quality.
Now I see where you're coming from.
But since we do have the other guest of honor here in the background, I think we should bring him on. We're going to bring on, this brand has been going crazy lately. I have found out about it from this gentleman over here. I mean, I got a introductory kit because of him. I got the Downtown Deja Vu because of him, or the Del Mar because of him. I got this Tres Oros from Ross. But the brand has been building hype. It's one of the best brands out there. If you haven't tried them, I definitely recommend it. And the man behind the scenes right now, Michael Paul, aka Mike. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
What's happening, guys?
What's going on, man?
Well,
Long time no
so
talk.
Chilling.
what are you wearing today?
I'm wearing a little bit of everything today. We just opened our boutique, which is where I'm at right now. So this is a brand new space for us. And we had a bunch of people here shopping earlier. So I think I'm just covered in like every day three fragrance.
Well, I mean, you
Makes
probably smell
sense.
great though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do smell good.
With I was wondering because I remember it was a live stream. Did you do it with Ross about 8 months ago? You were talking about your favorite fragrance brand is the one that created Fahrenheit. And Parlement or something like that. Was that the name of the?
Parle-moi de parfum. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
Mhm.
one.
yeah, it's the same perfumer, not necessarily the same company, but the same perfumer.
Yeah, that's one. That's actually the first time I was introduced to your brand was when you were talking to Ross on that live stream,
Mhm.
and then you were talking with somebody on Instagram. I think it was Josh, about
Shout
2 months
out.
ago, and then that's whenever I ended up buying the sample kit, and I mean, ended up loving like 90% of them, and the other
Wow,
ones
thank you.
yeah, and
Well,
I was just telling Ross, I said La Tacita de Cafe was my favorite one going into this. Then we had Del Mar that was right behind that, but it was close, and then Amber Dominicano. I mean, that's a fantastic fragrance as well. My wife has a really strong allergy to rose, but sometimes it depends on the style of oil. Thankfully, I found a house that uses rose in their fragrances that doesn't react with her skin. But I found with the Island, that one was a little bit strong on the rose for
Mhm.
her. So,
yeah.
but I'm not sure. Did you use a higher concentration of rose oil in Island than other fragrances you've had?
It's not that we used a higher concentration. It's just that the rose that I used was 100% natural, and we used, a good chunk of it. It's not typically the case in like a lot of perfumes. You use a little bit of the natural rose, and then you'll amp it up a little bit with some constituents like phenyl
Mhm.
ethyl alcohol or some boosters to make the rose feel bigger. But in Aelin, we just used just pure rose.
That would make sense. But I mean, I absolutely love your brand. I know we haven't really been properly introduced as far as like we talk to each other like on certain live streams or whatnot. So it's really nice to have you on the channel, having some of my followers who a lot of them follow Ross as well, be able to be introduced to such a high up and coming brand. What you started, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, about
That's a little
almost 3 years ago now. Yeah,
And in
almost
that
three.
in that time frame, you've blown some of the brands that I've been ecstatic with, imaginary authors, stuff like that. You've blown them out the water, and it's just the quality that your fragrances have, the bottle style. It's just everything about it. And I know that you, as a having the company, you don't like to compare yourself, or do you like to compare yourself to other brands, or is it more you like to go down
I,
your own path?
I don't think it's necessary. We try not to think of it in terms of, comparison or competition. We do the best to do what we can do and let people think what they think.
Awesome. But the main part of this live stream was talking about this new bad boy, Tres Oros. Was there any certain, I know me and Ross have said it a million times, and you probably just heard, we find it both to be our #1 release of the year. And you probably saw me do a post actually saying that, probably like 5 posts saying that. Um, it hits every mark that I need for a fragrance. I love sweeter fragrances, but I love sweeter fragrances that aren't overly cloyingly sweet and that also can be worn in the spring temperatures, fall temperatures, and yours hits every mark on that as far as also having the blend there, where not only are you leaning into that honey, but you're also coming back and having the citrus, you're having the pineapple, and it's all blended perfectly. And so was there any kind of, I know a lot of your fragrances are imagined through the Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
Is this also one of those?
it is. Yeah, yeah, I did Bani because my wife has family in the town of Bani
Oh, man.
in DR. I did TDC for my mom, and with Tres Oros, I wanted to do something that was just
Hilarious.
for me, like just to flex a little bit and have fun and do something that I really like. And my mom makes this cake. It's a Dominican cake. So what they do is it's like a vanilla angel food cake, but when she brings it out of the oven, she pours pineapple juice over it, and it soaks into the cake. So when you eat the cake, it's got this juicy, like warm pineapple feel to it. And it's my favorite dessert. Like I love it. And so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do an ultra sweet, like an unapologetically sweet gourmand. And I want to do it with the warm pineapple and with the honey and just have fun with it. And
And
it took me almost like a year, but when I was happy with it, it smells just like that cake, and I love wearing it. It makes me happy.
see,
Yeah.
the crazy thing about it, though, I don't find it like wildly over the top sweet either. Like the cinnamon really balances it out.
It
Yeah,
really
the
does.
spices in there to balance it. I mean, I find it very sweet, but balanced. Like it's not pure
Yeah,
sugar,
it's definitely sweet, but I mean, it's not like crazy over the top, like sickeningly is the fitting word here. It's not
Yeah,
sickeningly sweet.
you can kind of overdo the sweetness in a fragrance, and I think that that's really trendy right now. But
Mhm.
with most of my fragrances, they end up being sort of photorealistic to what the inspiration is. So I wanted to feel just like the cake, and I think we got there.
Yeah,
I've never tried the cake, but I'll tell you what, downtown deja vu. You want to talk photorealistic to walking through a shopping mall? My God.
The same with La Tacita Day Cafe. I keep having trouble saying that. I don't know why. It's like my mind's going but to me there's parts of it like it reminded me of whenever I was in. I told you in somebody else's live I was in Amber Cove, Dominican Republic earlier last year, and it reminded me of walking into one of their coffee shops down there. And so, I mean, I know that you weren't necessarily aiming for that, because you told me it wasn't about Amber Cove, but it's just, to me it reminded me of that because they had sweets and they're known for amber, so they had everything, and then they had their coffee, so it was a nice blend. And your fragrance, even though again you weren't trying to do it, it reminded me of a coffee shop I went into in Dominican Republic. So I thought that
Nice.
was pretty cool. But if anybody has any, Jason, Cheryl, does Day 3 have any iris fragrances?
Yeah, say less. Say
Really?
less is an iris. I know that's not your favorite, but
Well, the thing is don't take that from me though, because Ross will tell you I have always disliked iris fragrances, and
fair. That's fair
so
enough.
and
Very few.
yours is more of a Florentine iris is. At least that's the way it came across to me. A little bit more Florentine iris. I don't know if that's the what you used in it, but I'm honestly, when it comes to iris fragrances, that was one of the few that I told you just weren't on my level. It's just because I've never liked irises, and the only time that I do is usually when it comes to as more of an Oros butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, but I've never been a huge powdery scent fan. So, but I
Yeah.
know a lot of people say less is their favorite from your house.
Well, I think everything in the house smells different from each other, So we've got 10 fragrances now, and everything smells wildly different than every other fragrance in the line. And so, it makes sense that you would come across at least one that's just not your thing. And, it's that's fair, I think. And
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Out of 513 fragrances, I have one iris fragrance.
is that
And
right?
so that will tell you how many iris fragrances. And I've bought probably 30 and ended up selling them away. That's just a personal preference for me. Just like with rose, that comes down to whether my wife's allergic, but whether I like it or not. And for the
Mhm.
most part, rose fragrances I don't. But it's just nice to find a brand. You and Zaharoff are the only two brands I found that I actually like the rose in your fragrances.
Oh, wow.
And I also found a similarity in the style of honey that you used in Tre Oros that they used in Aurum from there. Just that the honey oil because of the high quality oils that you use. And so when you think of high quality, before I knew about your brand, I always thought about Zaharoff. But now going in, I mean, it's matched. I absolutely love this fragrance. Everything about it just drives me in. And I actually wore this to the car dealership today, and I got a compliment by two people there. So,
Oh, very nice. Very
yeah.
nice. That's a good
But
feeling.
what's your favorite fragrance from your own house?
Right now it's Tres Oros.
Tres
I,
Oros.
Yeah, I mean it's
you
hard to
know,
top right now.
it's
Aelin was such a great release. It's crazy to think he followed up with one that's just it's the one.
Thank you. Yeah, I know at some point as I keep releasing, just mathematical probability says there's gonna be a stinker at some point. Like, you know what I mean? Like one of them is gonna bomb, and so now every time I release something, there's that pressure. It's like I hope this is not the one that everybody hates.
Well, not
But
necessarily because it's such a subjective art form that there's always going to be somebody that likes it. I mean, with Triple XL, Joey and George were like, oof, because it's especially with the story being told, the whole smelly crotch thing and all that, and it's really for it. If you're
yeah.
into the more animalic musks, you know.
I mean,
So
there's people.
there's a crowd for every scent profile, that's for sure.
I mean, if you look at brands like the one that makes like the camel and T Rex and zoologist,
Oh
I
Zoology,
yeah,
mean,
zoologist. Yeah.
very
90%
niche.
of those fragrance people will smell and be like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's like
Yeah,
scorched earth.
yeah.
It's the
So the
Yeah,
most
only
charred
that's
smell I've
challenging.
ever. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
thing's charred. Yeah.
it's funny. The only one that I like from that house that I've tried lately is actually my last name Beaver, and so it just happened to be the first one that I liked from the house was called Beaver.
Ironic.
Kara asked, what's up with the cherry fragrance? You got one of those in the works.
I don't have a cherry. I know it's trending right now, but when we release something, I try to really stick to like meaningful inspirations to me, and at this point, I just cherry just doesn't do anything for me right now. Like I enjoy other cherry fragrances, but there's nothing in my life where I feel like, you know what, I've got to go do a cherry fragrance. I do have a raspberry coming out at
Oh,
the end of the year. So that's like
Hmm.
maybe in the winter time, but it's going to be a raspberry with a really, really aggressive oud. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
raspberry
Um,
oud.
When you say
People keep
aggressive,
well, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of natural oud. And I don't mean oud like we name it oud and then you look in the formula and it's just a bunch of aroma chemicals. Like we we imported an agarwood. It's a steam distilled agarwood from Vietnam, and we mixed it with oud asafi, which is a very expensive oud, and we put a huge dose of oud in this fragrance, but it's balanced nicely with a really animalic musk, and so it's got a lot of depth. And I shouldn't say too much because it's a long way off. You know, we're gonna
It
release it
sounds like
probably.
the niche within the niche.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope.
I bet you. I mean, you two have an idea, but I don't. Whenever you're making a fragrance or have one releasing down the road, it's probably almost impossible, especially in this community, to not say everything because you're excited about the work that you're putting out. And so I know Ross over there has something in the works right now, and I can
I
see
let the
his face
cat out the
turning red.
bag with teases, and now
Yeah.
ever so
Hey.
often, ever so often, it's like any new updates, like nope, we're done. We're done with teases.
Yeah, he's in his live stream, and somebody's like,
No,
"Hey, you got
somebody
any?"
named Randy will be like, "So, what'd you say was that scent profile again?" In my chat.
Oh man, dude, you gotta text me. I gotta get my nose on this.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotta make
exactly.
this happen.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes too. Mitch just asked, I need to get to day 3 discovery set. How did you get started?
With perfuming,
Yes.
um, man, it's kind of crazy. And I tell this story, and a lot of people think that I'm making it up. They just truly
Oh
don't
man,
believe me. But like, I'm a magician. I'm a close-up magician. I was doing celebrity work for big concerts, hip hop stars, that kind of thing. I was traveling all over the world doing close-up magic for concerts. And
Oh, my
at
wife
one
would love
point,
you.
it was a fun job, and my daughters loved it because I would come home and I'd be like, I just work for Drake, I just work for Jay-Z, like pretty cool stuff. So like I was the coolest dad ever. And at one point I just felt like I was spinning my wheels and like it wasn't going anywhere in life. I felt like really like, is this all there is? And honestly, dude, I was praying about where God wanted to move my life to. And one day, it just this message just downloaded into my life. And it was like, "Hey, you're going to start a fragrance company," which was crazy because I didn't have any money at the time. Like COVID had happened, so all the work had dried up. I had no money, had no lab, no materials. I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't know how to get started. And but I just stepped out on faith and created a fragrance, and we entered it into the Art and Olfaction Awards, which is like the Grammys for perfumery. Like it's a huge thing, and we won. And it just sort of the business took off. Like, and I wasn't even really ready for the success. People started calling me, magazines, blogs, that kind of thing, and it was just like that, just off and running. And 2 years later, we've got 7 international awards. We've been in like every major industry magazine. We just won the two Scent Explorer awards for like best up and coming niche house and best debut. It's it's been crazy. It's been like a ridiculous ride. But honestly, it just stepped out in faith. Like this just sort of dropped into my life.
That's crazy. I mean, all the awards that you're getting, I mean, I'm not surprised by that whatsoever. And then
uh,
there, but it's, I'm surprised that you just started like around COVID. Like before that, were you part of the fragrance community? Like, were you in the fragrance?
Well,
Did you wear fragrances? Have a bunch at your house?
I wore fragrances. I was doing close-up magic, and so I was always around people like very close, like very intimately. So I always wanted to smell good.
Right.
So yeah, I used to wear fragrance, but that was about the extent of it.
I mean that's I mean congratulations. I mean first
Thank
and
you.
foremost that's fantastic. I mean coming out of the woodwork, I couldn't see myself doing something like that, and if I did, I'd probably fall flat on my face. But I mean I guess that's the name of the game. You never know what's going to happen. I mean you had the wherewithal to be able to stand through it and make something good that everybody here obviously loves. I mean, anytime I've ever spoken to somebody who's tried day 3, they either love it or it's their favorite brand of all time. Like I've talked to multiple people. I mean, like I told you, I've seen you on Josh's channel. I saw you on Dave's channel. I saw you on Ross's channel, and every single time it's nothing but high marks. So, I mean, can't,
That's nice.
my favorite fragrance note, at least lately, has been tea. Do you have anything in the works for that?
I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
Tea?
Oh, tea. Oh, tea. I don't have anything tea like really coming out. I am working with there is a celebrity. His name is Colton Dixon, and he was on American Idol, and we are doing a fragrance for him. It's going to be a celebrity collaboration.
I didn't know it was
And
Colton. Colton is a big Evening Mystique fan.
is it? He's a huge frag head. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's a
like
big
really
Evening
in the
Mystique
community.
fan. He loves Evening Mystique. Yeah.
We are doing his
I had
fragrance.
no idea he had bought it, and he tagged me in the post when he was talking about it. I was like, I'll be damned.
That's
random.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest, nicest guy ever. And we're doing a fragrance for him. And there's a tea feeling to it because he wants it to feel very dry and almost earthy. And so that dustiness, like a dry black tea, might make its way into that fragrance, but that's not concrete yet.
Yeah, and I saw Ross shake his head whenever I said tea. That just changed recently. Before
Yeah,
that,
that's news to me. Yeah.
before that, it was plum, and it still is up there with plum. But it's just I've been wearing so many fragrances lately that I was putting them all together, all the ones that I just bought, probably 30, and of it was like 21 or 22 of them were tea based, and so I was like, yeah, I guess that's probably my favorite right now.
That's pretty cool. I have a tough time picking up tea accords and in fragrances. Like I'll smell them and I don't know. I'm trying to make the connection to like actual tea and I have difficulty like doing that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
There are specific fragrances that while they have tea in it, it doesn't smell like what you would expect to smell like a tea bag. Like even Wulong, I think Wulong Chum might be the easiest and the most well-known one that you can actually smell.
That
the
one's
tea
super
in
popular. Yeah.
Yeah, that you could probably smell the tea from. That's like, okay, that's an oolong tea bag. But outside of that, I understand what you say. I mean, there's a lot of fragrances out there that have tea in it that you're just like, yeah, that's not tea. Or someone says that like this is in this fragrance or pineapples in that fragrance. It's like, yeah, I can't smell it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just that one particular note that I have difficulty with, and even being a perfumer, I have no problem admitting like there's some things I find difficult, and like picking up tea is just one of those things. Like my nose just doesn't make that connection. Although I have noticed that a lot of tea fragrances rely heavily on bergamot, and I think people associate bergamot with tea because if you drink tea, like a lot of people drink it with bergamot or they put bergamot in there. Hey, give me just 1 second. I'm not going anywhere, but I'll be like 1 second. I'll be right back.
No problem.
So you're welcome, and my apologies, because you're welcome because me sharing it got us 65 people, but my apologies, all the homoerotic burners are here.
Oh, did you see? I accidentally clicked on one and I saw your name and I was like, oh, Ross might want to read this.
It's all good. It's all good. That's why I keep laughing, because it's like they're subscribed to me, they're obsessed with me, they watch everything I do. I don't have the problem.
Yeah, well, we were talking about how whenever Ross shared his thing, all of a sudden, all these people just started trolling in there, and I was like, I accidentally put one on the screen. I was like, whoops, that's not happening.
All good. I fully expected it when I shared it. I was like, well, it's going to bring all the douchebags out. But hey, it's a monetized channel. Welcome.
Hey, listen, Ross gets all the hate. I don't know why.
All good, man. It's like love disguised as hate. That's what it is.
I find you like one of the easiest influencers to like talk to and like actually have a real conversation with. And then I see everybody like constantly hating on you, bro. Like I don't know what the story is.
I think
it's
comes
the
with
misinformed. One of them was talking about I ruin brands, stay away. Mike, have I done anything to ruin your brand, sir?
Not yet.
It's hilarious.
The night is young.
So for those of you that are still here, by all means, come hang out. Randy makes the ad revenue. You might end up getting inspired to try some of Mike's fragrances, which is the point of this live stream. So
I hope so.
Brand recognition. That's all what it's all about.
The boutique is in Queen Creek, Arizona. I see the question up on the screen there.
See, that was one thing I didn't know either. I didn't know if you had a boutique or if it was more on just website or not.
No, this is brand new. In fact, today was the very first day that we unlocked the doors and allowed people in.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a big step for sure.
Yeah.
Are you planning on expansion if that one works out?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were talking about a move to Nashville. And if we move to Nashville and the fragrances, the boutique is doing well, we might copy paste. Like we might leave this one open, and we might do something in the Nashville area. That remains to be seen. But what happened was we were outgrowing our lab, and we needed more lab space. And the space that we were looking at for lab space just happens to make a really nice boutique also. So we thought, well, why not open it by appointment and maybe, a couple days per week, and then the rest of the time just close the doors and just use this as a lab space. So that's what we're doing.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't know what, and so somebody commented, why is Ross being quiet? Ross is being polite because this is about day 3.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, and just where there's bits I can chime in, I'll chime in. This was Randy asked me to be involved. Of course, I love Randy. I love Mike. Sure, I'll make some time.
You're the audience
But
magnet.
it's not
You're,
my
you're the
show.
celebrity on the stream.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm just a guest. I'm not the host.
I don't know if it's still active or if you want me to. Is Ross 15 still a thing?
I have no idea. I
It
would
might
have to
be.
text Vanessa and find out.
Okay.
But if it's not active, we can make it active again. I'm sure Vanessa's probably watching this, and she'll jump on that and she'll make it. If you don't know, Vanessa is my wife. She actually owns the company, so she does all the hard work.
Oh, nice.
I just play with the perfume, so I have the
So she
easy
does all
job.
the
He gets
business
to
and
play
everything,
every
and you
day.
do all the work.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I get excited whenever before I started my channel, I was watching people like Ross and Jen Sense and a couple other people, and I started buying oils. Probably not the kind that you have. I'm talking about like Amazon package that come in like an advent calendar. And so I was trying to get used to different notes like sandalwood. I took a perfumery class down at Pitt, and
Pretty cool.
I tried it all out, and so I always wanted to get into perfumery. It's just I don't have the space or the time because I work in pharmacy, and so I work about 55 hours a week. Plus, I have this channel, which is full time. So I always wanted to do that, and maybe sometime down the road I'll have more time to. But right now I don't. It's always been something that interested me.
Yeah, it's fun to get into, and it's becoming more popular now. I see, a lot of people getting into it and sort of playing around with it, and it's really rewarding. It's a fun hobby.
Well, not just that. I went to the last live stream I did. This topic actually came up where the space is continually growing. It's heavily saturated with people making content now and new brands and new indie houses. But at the same time, for all the new pieces of the pie that need to go out, fortunately, the pie is continuing to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think TikTok is having a lot to do with that too. TikTok is attracting like a lot of young people to the space.
For sure.
So much so that when we go to visit a retailer, all over the world, wherever we travel to do an event, the retailers are telling us that their customers are getting to be like, 13 to 15 years old, and they're coming in and they're dropping big money on high-end niche fragrance. And they're
Wow.
kind of blown away by that. And what's cool is a lot of these kids that are coming in, and we've met them and we've seen them, they're not just coming in just randomly blowing cash. They're educated. Like they know what they're talking about, because you can fall down a TikTok rabbit hole and, pretty soon you're learning about the notes and the combinations and what perfumer is doing what. And that's great for the industry, because those kids are all growing up and they're going to be educated, and you couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, when my 12-year-old nephew came to me asking me for a Louis Vuitton the other day, I was like, "What kind of world are we living in nowadays?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say shout out to Mike Elroy Prepson. He just did a $5 donation, so thank you very much. He said,
Hey.
happy Monday, gentlemen." Again, he's one of the
What's up,
people
Josh?
that Josh, he's one of the people I found out about day 3 through. I can't talk about it.
Josh is a good dude.
Yeah, Josh is a great guy. For sure.
100%. I met Josh shortly after I started my channel. I met him through Instagram, and that was whenever I think I told him I was going to do a live stream with him, and then I never did. Sorry, Josh.
Shame on you.
Yeah, Ross was actually the first person I asked to do a live stream with. I had about 400, 500 subscribers, and I reached
Yeah,
out
it was
and I
not
said,
much.
"Hey, you want to do a collaboration or something like that?" And like you said, Ross has always been a super nice guy, so it's pretty
Appreciate
amazing.
that. Thank you.
But as far, I know people were asking about specific notes, and you were talking about that one fragrance that you have down the road. Do you have any other things that people should look forward to?
Yeah, I'm going to break some news with you guys today. This
Here
is
we go.
very, very exciting for us. This is huge. Day Three did a collaboration with a huge music celebrity, and we we just couldn't believe it. We're very, very small fragrance houses, so to do any kind of celebrity fragrance was like not on our bingo card, you know. And we're working with an artist. Her name is Megan Woods, and she has a song called "The Truth," and it's a huge hit on Billboard right now. She's #1 in like 40 different countries. And May 9th, we're going to release Royal Reflection, and it's going to be Day Three Fragrances X Megan Woods. Megan is going to have this at her concerts and on her website, and we're going to have this on our website. This is a really transparent, really fresh rose. It's going to be like
Yeah, I got to pull
perfect
that.
for the summertime. Yeah, there she is. There's Megan. She's like the nicest person, and she came out here to Arizona to smell all of the
Stunning, too.
accords and all of the mods. And she was like really into it, and yeah, she built a tremendous fragrance with Day Three, and we're super excited to release it. So May 9th, that's coming out, and
Is
it's
this the
gonna be really
one
nice.
that you were telling me? I can't say nothing right now that you sent me the decan of. Okay.
Yep, that's the
That's
one.
awesome. Can't
Okay.
wait.
That's the one.
May 9th. You
May
guys look
9th.
forward to the site. I have the website for Day Three pinned in the description if you guys want to go check them out. Again, they
Quick
have.
question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me jumping in real quick, because I know Sandy asked earlier, Sandy McConnell, do you happen to ship to the United Kingdom, Mike?
We don't, not yet,
Not yet.
but that's coming very, very
Sandy's
soon.
real good dude. Long time in the community here. Real good dude.
Actually, I miss you, Sandy. I haven't seen you in like a month. I know he was away for a while.
And you got to remember, he's got a big time difference from us.
Yeah, big
Okay.
time difference.
All right.
And I do go
Come on,
live
Sandy.
late, so for him,
Yeah, we're
it's
just
probably
we're waiting on some paperwork, some you know, because you have to go through a lot of regulation paperwork in order to be able to ship internationally. Now there's new regulations and new rules.
Duties, all that good stuff to deal with.
Yeah, so we're dealing with that now. We're still a small company, so it's taking us a little bit longer. Like I don't have a
You'll get
team
there.
that works on that. It's just us, but it'll be pretty soon.
You'll get there.
And
You'll
Kara
get there.
said,
George just went through the process. It was a 3-year process to get it how we wanted. You'll get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Day Three is one of those brands. You will get there for sure.
sometimes when you have a base of what you have, not only the knowledge but the perfumery and everything is super strong base. It's only you only go up from there.
Yeah, for sure. Like the
Kara-
level of quality y'all brought from day one, pun intended, from day one has been phenomenal. Even with the very first one I think you sent me was La Tacita de Cafe, if I remember correctly.
I think so. Yeah, you were the very first person to ever do a review for us, and I was just kind of reaching out, like hoping, like, hey, shoot my shot. Like, let's see if somebody wants to review it. And I was super thankful that that you even gave it the time. So I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. That's my favorite thing to explore is new independent houses, because I say it all the time, we live in a world of redundancy in the perfume world. So it's nice when somebody's like passionate to where they created something that they feel so passionately about that they want to put into the marketplace. They want people to try it. Please check it out. I just want to see what you think.
Mhm.
I love that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's crazy to think that's, roughly 3 years have passed. Look at how the brand has grown now. Like you said, all the awards, all the different things you're doing. You have your first boutique.
Yep.
You keep evolving with your bottles. You're working with celebrities and musicians now. It's 3 years.
I can't believe it, dude.
Period of
I feel like
time.
I'm living somebody else's life. Like it doesn't even feel real to me, most of the time.
Next thing you'll have something over there. You'll have a boutique over in Europe, so Sandy doesn't even have to get it from your website. You never know. I mean, I honestly think that's where Day Three will end up at one point in time. I mean, they have the ground floor. It's only up for you guys. Somebody asked, and I think I know the answer. Is the new fragrance going to be female or unisex?
So it's unisex. It is feminine leaning because it's very. It's almost a rose solifleur. We almost just listed rose as the only note, but
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did a passion note accord, passion fruit accord on the top. But other than that, it's just a very light, transparent, fresh rose. And so I rock this. I love this, especially in the heat because I'm in Arizona. So it's,
Mhm.
it gets to be like 100 degrees and I can go outside when it's like super hot and I spray this and it just this beautiful cloud, it'll be a little bit feminine for a lot of guys who only wear like your woods and that kind of thing. But yeah, for the summertime, it's gorgeous. I would say it's unisex leaning feminine.
Thank you,
Vanessa's
Vanessa.
on it, Mike.
Excellent. Oh, very cool. See,
And
I
for
told
those
you,
of you,
she's a gangster.
and for those of the trolls watching, no, I do not earn a commission. That's something he just generously turns on and off from time to time when we do stuff together to help out anybody that's watching. It's just to pay it forward with the viewers that might be interested in making a purchase, which I'm very
Yeah,
thankful.
he activated it for years, and that's how I got this. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Mike. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes a long way.
we actually have like kind of a company policy where we don't pay influencers because we don't want to be seen as somebody who's like paying for like hype or like good reviews. We just want it to be like really honest. Like we send something out, and if you don't like it, you'll tell people you don't like it. If you love it, you'll tell people that you love it. But we don't want to get into a position where it's like, oh, that's the company that pays people for,
Oh, you're still
for
gonna get that
exposure.
one.
You're gonna get it anyway because a free
Yeah.
bottle means a great review in this place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that at all.
No.
I mean, like this is the industry. You have people who have audiences, and those audiences follow you because they actually want fragrance content. So, and as a company, of course, we're going to go to influencers and we're going to send bottles because we're trying to reach your audience. It's advertising. Like you essentially have a TV show, and we essentially want to advertise in your TV show, or at least be featured on it, right?
Yeah,
And
it's just an
so,
opportunity to be featured in front of the audience. Good, bad, or
Exactly.
yeah.
indifferent. All
Yeah.
criticism is good criticism. You know.
Yeah, I don't understand the hate around the bottles thing. I mean,
Uh,
I've sent bottles to influencers and they've absolutely trashed them.
yeah.
Like
It happens. You
it
know?
happens. Like you just but we don't mind at all because then when they do say something good about something else, it's an
It's that much
honest,
more impactful.
right? Exactly.
You want to know what's funny is that S Boy from Draco came out a couple years ago. I had 250 subs, and they sent me a bottle, and everyone's like, "You're paid." I said, "Do you not see my sub count? Are you
I kind
kidding?"
of trashed it. I didn't even sign up for their affiliate link or anything like
Me
that.
either.
Because I smelled
Yeah.
it first and I was like, oh, they ain't gonna like this. But
Yeah.
it's okay, but it was way overpriced designer, you know.
Yep. And then they would do like those like 85% off sales, like every once in a while. I was like, that defeats the purpose. But the other thing I was going to ask you, speaking of the bottles, I know you held it up. Is there any inspiration behind the bottle style, or is it just something that you came across?
Well, not a particular inspiration, but I can kind of like tell you the story. We had the small cube shaped bottles, and I
Which
like
I
the
still have.
cubes. Yeah, I like them because the way they felt in the hand, like they felt good. Like you pick it up and like they were easy to spray as far as like getting your hand around them.
They travel
Uh,
well too.
they traveled well, and so I like them on their own. And then people started doing these fragrance trays. Well, they'll make like the tray, like their weekly tray or their monthly tray. And whenever I saw the square bottle along with other bottles from their collection, the square bottle like looked kind of like squatty and like short, like it just didn't look good. And it
It
started
went from
bothering me.
feeling substantial to looking less substantial, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we wanted to do something really, really heavy. So we got the really heavy rectangle bottles. They have a lot of glass here at the bottom, so when you pick it up, it's really substantial. And I went with a metal label, but we wanted to keep it really minimal too, which is why we didn't do anything like gaudy and there's no like jewels or like crazy design.
Clean look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the French have a sort of like minimalistic, like a French minimalism where it's like they want the juice to speak. And so that's kind of like what we're going for is like it's the juice inside that's important, but when you pick this up, you're going to feel the quality because you can feel the weight. So simple, but simple luxury.
Well,
Simple yet refined.
I think so. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the weight to it, especially the cap. I
It's a
love the
hefty
weight to the
base.
cap. Oh, it is a hefty base, but even the cap is pretty hefty. And I like the feel of it because it just, like you feel, it has that like luxury factor to it. Whenever it just feels heavier, the glass is heavier, the cap is heavier, and then you
Yeah.
obviously have a fantastic atomizer, one of the best in the game. I
Thank you.
mean, you can't beat that.
We
So go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I get made fun of sometimes because I specifically wanted the metal cap because when you close it, you hear the metal on the glass,
Tap on the
and
glass.
something about that, like I love that, and so I was
With
like,
that. Music to my ears. I'm right there with you. That's one of the things I love the most about that very specific Ferragamo fragrance I praise all the time. That click, that metal cap that clicks onto the glass. Oh yeah.
and it's just something about the details. Like you need those details. Like I'm
Well,
constantly
when you
thinking about
treat
that.
this the way we treat it, it's not just a functional wardrobe item.
Right.
We're basically I mean, it's different level for you, Mike, as an artist creating, but for me and Randy, we're very much hobbyists and enthusiasts out of this. It's the little details, like when we get a fragrance in and the atomizers lined up the first time we open it. It really does not matter, but it's like, attention to detail from the brand. Check that out. It's the little things when you treat something like a hobby. They go a long way with a lot of people, especially when you
Yeah.
pay a premium price. You want a premium. You want to feel like what you're getting is premium.
Right. That's the thing is like I remember being completely broke and yeah, to me now, like our bottles are low priced as far as like the niche community goes. Like so 155, we're one of the lower prices on the market. But to me, I still think of $155 as being like that's a lot of money, you know? And so I want to give customers like everything, the feel, the sound, the weight, the quality. Like I want to do everything I can because that to me, it feels like you're investing a lot of money in my product. So I want to make customers happy.
Yeah, speaking of investing money in your product, John Michael Vernon just said, and I would much rather support a family like Michael Paul's over some millionaire L'Oreal executives overseas, which I completely agree. I
It's
like to
fair.
support the brands that are up and coming, not the ones that are just money hungry out there. I mean, everybody's in a business to make money, but also I like when people like you who are willing to come join somebody on my channel like me or on Ross's channel or whoever who actually have that hobbyist background too. And so I definitely enjoy that.
That's
Mike,
the
you
thing. He
were
loved perfume before he started creating perfume.
I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah, I
say
really did.
I wanted to say shout out to Mo. He gave me a donation and I missed it, so I apologize. And Mike, you're asking about a price point. I don't know what fragrance you're talking about because most of them are 155, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 155.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
But the
155,
discovery sets are 35 still, Mike.
40. But
40 now?
we added another two. So we added Tres Oros and we added Royal Reflection to the Discovery sets. So you're getting more now. So it's $40, and then we give you a $40 discount code when you buy the Discovery set. So it's almost like you can try all the fragrances for free, basically.
And buy one for 115 if you find one you really like.
Right. Yeah,
Basically.
yeah. You get that $40 off of any full bottle. And that's the thing is like, I mentioned the awards before, and the awards are fun to win, and they kind of like they give us some credibility, but in reality, like we really lean on our discovery set sales to get our name out there because we're convinced that if you try something on skin, like if you take a day 3 fragrance and you just wear it for the day, we're pretty convinced you'll find one in there that you'll fall in love with, you'll realize the quality, and chances are it might get you a compliment or two, and that's what we want. We don't. Yeah, Bonnie is a beast. It's a killer. Like try it
Okay.
out.
As much as I love Trey Oros, I just can't put anything over Bonnie.
Bonnie's great.
So that's your favorite.
It's such my surroundings. Yeah, mango papaya. It's just so good. It suits my surroundings and most of my year and my just everything around me. I'm at the beach. It is such a beach vacation fragrance.
It's Vanessa's favorite.
So good. It's my favorite too. I don't blame her. Vanessa, I know you're watching. I don't blame you. Me and you are here. I get it.
It's
So
good, man.
So Mike has to go soon, but I have a question from Newt. He said, "You clearly create fragrances meant to be unique, inspiring, and impactful. Is it annoying when someone describes your unique art as simply like insert another fragrance?"
Um, Yes and no. I think it really did like a year ago or 2 years ago. Right now, what I'm learning is that like a lot of people um, don't give every fragrance their full attention. I think you can get a quick spray of something and then just casually fire off a comment like, "Oh, this is just like that other thing," and I just sort of shrug it off now. Fortunately, we don't get a whole lot of that. In fact,
That's
I hear
not my wife, Randy.
a lot of reviewers will say like, you know, I don't have anything else in my collection that's just like this. Um, with the exception of Aylin, like a lot of people compare Aylin to Baby Cat, maybe just a little bit smoother. And you know what? If you're going to compare us to anybody, like as a perfumer, if my work gets compared to something like Baby Cat, like I'm not mad. You know, it's everything's so subjective.
Yeah,
It kind of does fall in the wheelhouse, but Baby Cat's just so smoky comparatively, though. You
Yeah,
know,
it is the one
similar
that we
but
didn't.
far from the same.
Well, and the thing is too, I didn't have a Dominican inspiration for Aylin. Aylin is just the collection of my daughter's favorite notes. Her
I
name is
heard
Dakota
that.
Aylin, and so
That's
we named it
awesome.
after her, and we created it with all of her favorite things, and it ended up being, you know, in that in that category, you know, with like a vanilla oud rose, you know. There's a bunch of stuff sort of like in that lane, but I'm glad that it was so well received.
That's a beautiful name, Dakota Aylin. My daughter's name is Halen, so very, very,
Oh,
very close.
super close.
Yeah. Um, and someone just said Aylin is better than Baby Cat.
I appreciate that.
There's a
Thank
good
you.
argument for that.
Thank you.
um, but yeah, Ross, I knew it wasn't. That's why I was saying bye. I was
Yeah,
blocking them. I was blocking
that's the
them.
new thing is that I can't wait to tell her. Well, guess what you said today.
But is there anything else that you would like to anybody to know before you head out, Mike?
Just to be on the lookout for the new release, Royal Reflection. It's our first celebrity fragrance. And if you haven't tried a discovery set, definitely grab one. I mean, $40, and you're gonna get a $40 discount code off of any full bottle. So you may as well grab them. In fact, we ship them for free. So you don't even pay shipping on those. And then you don't pay shipping on the bottle either. So if you haven't tried day three yet, all I ask is just, man, just put it on your skin and just see what happens.
And I second that. 100%
Third.
concur on that statement. But thank you so much for joining us, obviously, for the live stream. I mean, it's an honor to have you on my channel, to be honest with you, because I see you on channels like Ross's and always wanting to get you on. So thank you so much. I love your fragrances. I'm obviously going to continue on the journey with you. If you ever need me for anything, just let me know. But I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, man, I'd love to come back anytime. I'm gonna run and go help some customers in the boutique, but thank you so much for having me on because this was a lot of fun. I love doing this. Ross, man, I am stalking your Instagram and I'm rooting for you, bro, every
Appreciate that,
day. I'm
man.
like, you
Absolutely.
go, man. You're like my inspiration. Like it makes me want to go to the gym right
I
now. Like,
appreciate that, man. Where I'm so much further ahead. I'm already like, if I was to dehydrate myself down, I'd wipe the floor with me from last year.
yeah,
Right
you could
now,
tell,
like
dude. You could tell.
it's going to be a
Great
much
work.
better season this year for me. I'm very excited. We're 32 days out from the first show.
I'm
Oh, that's
such a
awesome.
like it's such an inspiration, like the amount of work that takes, like because you can't fake that. Like that's not something like you have to go put
No,
in the work and the dedication. And like it's amazing, dude. You're amazing, dude. So
I
good luck
appreciate
to
that,
you.
man. And for the other burners that haven't been blocked yet, that are going to bring up the enhancements, it's still not easy. That
It's not
doesn't. It's
easy,
not a
bro. It's not
miracle.
easy.
You got to
Yeah.
work
You can
your ass
see
off.
him coming on a live stream, and Ross looks literally like he's dragging. I mean, that's it's not. I mean,
Sometimes,
it's
yeah,
not easy.
yeah, for sure.
Guys,
But
you
yeah.
have an awesome night. Thank you so much for having me on. I'll see you both soon.
All right,
Have a
Mike.
good one,
Have a
Mike.
good
It's
day.
always
All right.
great to see you, man.
All right. See you later.
See you.
What a wonderful
Yeah.
dude. Great
Oh,
message, religious brand. I don't know if you know what the logo stands for and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I won't
didn't
get too
know
religious
until I
on
heard
here.
it on.
You
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant until somebody actually pointed it out to me 2 days ago.
know.
So,
Yeah.
um,
What a great family.
mhm.
Doing great work too. You
he
know,
always
that's
seems
the kind
super.
of brand you want to support
He always seems super happy too. Like
because he's a
anytime.
genuinely happy person.
Yeah. And you don't see it, especially in this community, you don't see that often, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Especially in the perfumery. I've done a few perfumers on my channel. And a lot of times it's just like It feels like it's just question answer question answer. It seems what he's actually excited to talk about it.
Well, he's a good dude too, and he's into a lot of the same things we are. He's got a similar sense of humor to you and I. He cracks some jokes and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
This is my
he's a good
first time
dude.
having him on, so I felt like I had to have some questions.
Yeah, no, I mean it's of course, you want to feature him and talk about their creations because I mean
Yeah.
it's a fragrance content channel. You might as well, right?
Yeah, all those questions were actually, I was going to come home today and think of some things. I
Mhm.
had no time, so those were just me sitting here. Please,
Well,
Ross,
well, you
talk
can
for a
always
minute.
fly off the top of your head, and your chat's going to bring up a couple of really good questions.
Yeah.
So.
But so I finally got all my hauls in. Did you get anything? I know you get stuff in like every freaking day.
So I bought some stuff last night. Everybody's been on me about Mandarino di Sicilia from Acqua di Parma. I bought that. What else did I get? The two newest Tommy Hilfiger fragrances. What else? I bought like
Have,
6 fragrances.
did you say Perfume Amoromo?
No,
Oh,
it was Acqua di Parma.
oh,
The Blue
oh, oh yeah,
Mediterranean line, Mandarino di Sicilia,
yeah.
orange dominant. Because everybody knows I love orange. A lot of people been on me about it every time I talk about orange. So it's like I finally bought it.
If you like orange, you should try out the new replica fragrance. It's Never Ending Summer. It's
Oh yeah, I
made
saw
out.
you talk about that one the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it's once it gets down to discount of 78. I mean, it's like 78 to 80 some dollars. It
Well, I'm on
literally,
Margella's PR list, so that's why I'm kind of holding off.
yeah,
You
it
never know.
literally just it smells like a orange
Yeah,
peel mixed with a little bit of bitters. I mean, it's a
that
really
sounds great.
good specific fragrance. I mean, you
Yeah,
just have to like orange peel. But
that's
yeah, I
that's
don't
how
know.
I am. When it comes to citrus, orange. When it comes to tropical fruitiness, mango.
Yeah,
That's my
have
two.
you? But what I was gonna say is Profumum Roma. They have one called Dulcis and Fundo, and it's a kind of orange creamsicle, and it's like a higher end. Have you ever tried Lolita Lempica Green Lover? I know you have.
Yeah, I
Like,
have it. I featured it on my cheapy spring list.
yeah, take the green out of that and make it a little bit more high quality niche, and that's what Profumum Roma Dulcis and Fundo is.
Yeah, because
And
that's a good
so,
one. Green
yeah,
people were on me a long time about getting Green Lover. I was very late to the game on that one. I got it beginning of last year, I want to say, or maybe end of the year before. I think beginning of last year, something like that.
I have not tried mini spritz or the spritz that
Yeah,
you reviewed.
Persian Winds. That's the one I
Yeah,
wore in last week's rotation. This was my favorite of the bunch.
yeah, I haven't tried any from that brand. I haven't heard of that brand until Ross talked about them last week.
Well,
But
if you like any authenticity stuff, you'll probably like it. It's Sunny, the same owner.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Honestly, I mean, I know you don't come across and watch all of my videos. I don't come
Mainly the
across and
live
watch all
streams.
your videos. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
like
get it.
after you're a reviewer for a while, watching content just becomes a headache. I
When
mean,
you
live
make
streams are
content all the
fun.
time, you don't want to
Yeah.
watch other fragrance content. You just don't. That's where the live streams come in. It's because it's more of a just conversation than
Yeah,
just strictly a review.
live streams and popping shorts, like shorts coming up when I'm scrolling through and I'll see you talking about the mini spritz. I'll like it, and if it's something I haven't tried, then I'm like, "What's up?"
Well, if it's something I know I'm going to be trying soon and you pop up, I try to hurry up and get away.
Yeah,
Because I
because
don't want to
it's
know
gonna be
what you
something
think.
new.
Yeah. Because
If
most of the time we align with our thoughts. So it's like
yeah,
if you say it, it's going to be in my head and I'm going to expect it. So
this year has been crazy for the new releases for me because I finally got back into them, and it was just like, "Oh, hey, you want to try this one out? It's coming out in like 3 months. Hey, you want to try this one out? It's coming out in 2 months." I'm like,
it's
yes,
crazy how you got
please.
metallic musk so early. Like
Yeah, it's not
iFragrance
even
didn't
out
even get a
yet.
listing for it till like what 6 or 7 weeks after we reviewed it.
Yeah, and then
It's crazy.
the picture on Fragrantica is my bottle.
That's hilarious.
If you see, my reflections in it. You can see I was wearing like
Really?
I was wearing a red shirt or something like that. But you can see it.
That's
I'll send
hilarious.
you. I'll send you the picture of my picture that I took in my room when we get out of here. It's the exact same picture. There's like a
It's a
you can
good
see my
quality
red.
picture. I'm looking at the bottle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good job.
that's my picture.
That's hilarious.
I can't click on this. Nah, there we go. Donald English, thank you for the
Hold
$5
on, Dom.
donation. I got myself a discovery set. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a good discovery set. And sorry for clicking on. I should have
Oh,
known
they
after
had
the
a
first.
few of them. They had a few of them.
Yeah, I know, but I should have known not to click after the first one that I clicked on.
Yeah.
But then I saw, hey, I'm Ross's wife. I was like, oh, okay, we have Vanessa in here, which is his wife. So Ross's
Definitely
wife's
not.
joining. And then
Yeah,
I was like,
definitely
oh,
not.
I started reading. I was like, no, no, no. Tried to click out of it.
It's fine, dude. You got to remember, I'm not the person with the problem here. You know, I'm not obsessing over some guy on the internet and wanting to try to bother him. I flattered. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Well, y'all are one of the reasons I post the almost completely naked pictures. Give y'all some beat off material because I know y'all want it.
I haven't seen it that bad before on my stream.
I knew when I shared it, it was going to happen. A lot of those names, Rashid Brown and like that's all burners that I've blocked, that Justin's blocked. That was probably 2, maybe, and it's pushing it at 3 people. All of those burners. It's more than likely just 1 or 2 people just switching burner to burner, doing it.
I saw the I Smell one. He was on there the other day, and then I think Mike actually did join. So we had 2 Mike I Smells at the same time. And that's what happened last time. The real Mike joined while the fake Mike was in the chat.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's happened with Joe Anthony, with the Joe Anthony one.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burner.
So the last time it happened, and so it doesn't happen all the time on my channel, but when it does, it's like it happens all at one time. And it was I Smell, and Unaverage Joe come together as a package.
Well, that's the thing. It's 1 or 2 people. They want you to believe it's like 20 people doing it. It's not.
Most of them, Ross, give them what they want.
When I post it, I'm like, oh, they're going to love this. But yeah, I don't watch me like a hawk. I don't watch other people like a hawk. Again, I don't have the problem. Thank you.
You know, I don't have
Jeremy's subscriber account. I don't have Jeremy's subscriber account. But when you factor in the mental health issue, toxic side of this community, I'm the most popular son of a bitch here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then honestly, if you're the biggest person that does live streams consistently too, like I don't see anybody that's your size
much lately though.
No, but you know what I mean. Like you don't see Jensen, Big Beard, and all them doing live streams like this.
Yeah.
You do live streams and you keep it real with the community, and I think that's why you get more of the hate, and I think they would as well. But it's because they don't like seeing it, and they see you a lot, and that's what it is.
I'm sure there's some truth to that. I mean, who knows what it exactly. Every reason I've ever been given is just complete ridiculousness, but I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. You know? Hey, well, I know you and me both want to be done right now, so how about we just end this live?
We managed to crack it to the hour. That was great that Mike got to spend almost the full hour because I know he's busy.
Yeah, no, I saw. I almost missed his private chat. I didn't even know that was a thing on here. He sent a private chat.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, and I clicked on it, and I was like, "Hey, Ross, you want to stay like closer to 8?" But
it's because I saw we had 3 private chat messages. I just didn't click over.
Yeah. Oh well, guys, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Ross, for coming on the channel as always.
Thanks for having me, man.
Any last words before we hop off?
Well, anybody that hasn't tried anything from day 3, I strongly encourage it. I mean, we have no skin in the game here, guys. Just wanting y'all to experience something unique, original, and high quality. You know, original creations from an artist inspired by his family and where his family's from. A lot of the creations are Dominican-based inspiration of the culture, and you smell it. He tells you a story in every fragrance. You know, day 3 is going places. Yeah, this isn't some fly-by-night indie brand.
100% agree with that. And I also want to let you guys know I have a video tomorrow detailing that giant trade I did. So if you guys want to check that out,
the list.
Yeah.
He sent me a text with the list of what was going and what was coming. It's a text like this long.
Yeah, there's one of them right there. Original vetiver and royal oud, but plum and cognac. How about I did a picture of it, and Sense of Wood contacted me the next day.
Really?
Yeah, they're sending me a bottle. I was like, I don't even know what else you got. Let's see. And I looked it up. All right, I'll take the hazel.
Well, that's their hype beast for sure. Yeah. Plum and cognac.
Yeah, so, and then I have a live next week by myself. And then after that, Novice Knows, who is in the chat.
My guy.
Speaking
of people that love orange in a fragrance.
Yep. So we're going to be doing a live stream on here. So
that's a good dude right there. For those of you that haven't watched his content, y'all are going to like him. He's a good dude.
Absolutely.
He does live streams too. Subscribe to Novice Knows.
Subscribe to Novice No. Subscribe to anybody that you see
He
here
does
that
them
you're
late
interested
though.
in.
So if you want some like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night
Yeah.
live streams, that's your guy.
Yeah, him and I see him and Grimsense, another new reviewer that have been doing lives late
Shout out to Grim.
lately.
He was in here as well. And then Tazo, you never know. I saw Tazo live at like 11 o'clock a couple days ago, but sometimes Tazo's live at 9 o'clock at night. Tazo's all over the place with what time he streams.
Yeah, and then you have Josh, who does his lives all over the place too. Usually later at
And
night.
any of you Smell Good family, Dedrick, I'm not sure if it's going to be Thursday or Friday, but you might want to tune in because
Something big on the way.
Big news from Dedrick Hicks, and a lot is changing. A lot is going to be changing on the Dedrick Hicks channel. So you might want to tune in because let's just say there's a possibility it's his last live stream.
Oh no.
No, not a bad thing.
Oh, good thing.
A great thing. A great thing off camera.
Oh,
so
well then I'll have to figure that out. And Novice, I'm not doing that damn live with you if you don't message me, man. You keep telling me you're going to and you don't, so message me. All right, well, Ross, thank you so much for joining me. You guys all have a great night. I'll see you on the next live stream. Follow Ross over there if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.